Hi, Abigail from cut&alter here. It's day 2 of the Christmas free motion quilting, and today we are going to be learning how to quilt a holly motif. So, as I said yesterday, we're going to be drawing first and then stitching out. Drawing gives you great practice in learning the design, both in building up the muscle memory that will make it much easier when you get to your machine, and also to learn the travel path. So here we go. Okay. A good way of doing it initially is to give yourself boundaries, and that's why I have given myself these lines here, and I'm just going to put a rough middle point through there, which will just help my eye know where to go. So it's just your basic holly shape, 1, 2, 3 to the middle, 1, 2, 3 back, and then you could travel along as though it was a vein, 1, 2, 3, and then the same at the bottom, travel along, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's the rough shape of holly. But it doesn't look that interesting, if I'm honest. So how I often quilt it is on a wave. So if I just draw the wave, my pen just went 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. So if you draw the wave, I wouldn't stitch this out. It would just be either something that you do on your paper whilst you're practicing, or you might use a marking tool on your quilt just to give you the idea of where you're going. And then I would stitch holly maybe along here. 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you can travel, and then you're at the top of the holly leaf. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then travel again. And that's just a nice design for putting in a border if that's how you want to use it. Of course, the holly design can be used in many other ways too. If I just get rid of there we go, 1 second. All right, so it might be that you want some holly in a block, in which case then it's just the same. It's just that standard holly shape. You might want to put a vein in, come back. Sometimes when you're learning a new design, it's good to get some words in your head for the motions. So it's 1, 2, 3 to the top, 1, 2, 3 to the bottom. Sometimes it's also good to pause. So if I was wanting to keep this continuous, I might just draw to here and then start again. 1, 2, 3, and then pause there because you're changing direction. Okay, pause there. I didn't pause there, but that's what I was supposed to be showing you. That here, here, and here, you're changing direction. So until you know the design really well, sorry, excuse me. Okay, the same happened yesterday. Until you know a design really well, when you change direction, it's good to pause, to breathe, sorry, and then you can go in the next direction. The other way, of course, that you can do holly is if you are wanting an all over. If I just get rid of that. Sorry, I can't get rid of the lines. That was how I set it up for the first ones. So if you were wanting to do holly as an all over, you could come on in. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You might want to put the vein in. You might just want one holly leaf every now and again. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and then think about where you want to go next. So on this one, if I was wanting to come down this side, I would come out of, how would I go? I would probably come out of here, oops, like that, and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then come out that way. Do you see, I did something different there. I think I find that a bit easier. If you know where you're going, if you do that vein first and then come back 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, you can kind of guide where you're going. This will make a lot more sense when I'm stitching it out. Yeah, my stitching is better than my drawing. But you get Okay, so I'll stop here and then we will go to the machine. Okay, so here I am at the machine. You might notice I've got a different foot on today. Yesterday I had the glide foot on, and when I watched the video back I realised it wasn't giving you a great view of the stitching, so I've just changed it out for the standard foot. I have marked some lines. Quite often I do this, I don't mark anything, but I use the blocks that are in the quilt or the blocks that are at the border. So I've just done 2.5-inch squares, and I'll show you how I do it in that. It is a really good idea to practice in the scale that you find you use a lot. So if you are somebody who has borders that are 2.5, practice your drawing at 2.5 and practice your quilting at 2.5. If your borders tend to be 3, 4, 5 inches, again, scale up if the design works for that, and practice drawing at the scale that you're going to stitch out. Okay, so we'll just start with some holly. So the first one, excuse me, now I'm going to do the spine up through it. This one, the spine needs to be done first. So when I was drawing, I was talking about maybe pausing when you are going to change directions. So I would pause at that point. I would also have my machine set so that when I stop, the needle goes down, and you can do that on the domestic too. It just gives far, I'm just going to put it down now. It does give far better accuracy. And it means that you can stop, you can pull your hands away from the machine and breathe, relax your shoulders before you go again. is how I would do a row of holly if I was wanting to use it in a border. Now, if you were wanting to fill up a block, particularly maybe a triangle or something, you can work the holly into a different shape. So I will just do that now. And then pause. Pause. Pause there. Okay, so that's just a group of holly leaves, and then if I just show you some how you might do it as an all over. Got a bit carried away there. So I'm obviously I'm quilting. It's actually a silver colour, Cool Grey 3 by Glide on black, so it's showing up everything, and that might be how you want your quilt to look. Or you may have a blended fabric and then you don't notice all the inconsistencies. It's a really good idea if you've got a practice piece to use a contrasting thread. That way you'll see what areas of the design need practice, and you will be so pleased when you move to a thread that blends with the fabric on your quilt, because it will look so much better. So that's just a little tip. Okay, I think that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will do another one tomorrow. I'm not quite sure which design it's going to be yet, but I'll see you back here tomorrow. Thanks, bye. Just a quick view of that. And you can see how it would look as an all over. It would give lovely texture. And if you just look at that top line, I had a little play after I videoed yesterday and just did some more presents, but you can see how you can go from one present to stacking them up in many ways. It just means you have to backtrack a bit, and you can also put on pretty cute little ribbons. Thanks.